Hi, everyone. Welcome to Self Empowerment Sunday. We will do an all signs tarot card reading after the intro. So, today I want to talk about basically, I don't know the exact phrase in the Bible, but something about like having dominion over things or what have you. So, I was thinking about this and basically, I mean, what it means to have dominion, I feel that's more in reference to the mind. I'm always a big proponent of, and I by no means have mastered this whatsoever, but I'm a big proponent of that we need to, like our higher self, with a capital S, needs to have dominion over our minds. We need to control our minds. And I speak of this quite a lot in some of my other videos if you guys have been around for a while. So, by that's what I feel, and of course everybody has different takes on that, but that's what I really feel a lot of that is alluding to, having dominion over our higher self, having over our minds and our physical experience, our mental experience, and how we deal with things here on earth. Um, it doesn't say that we are subject to life's whims. That's not what the point of life is. The point of life is not to, the Bible or any of these like big, any of the major religious texts. None of them say that, oh well, you're subject to life's whims. That's the way it goes. So it's more about teaching empowerment and perfection, if you will, really. Something that I think we all struggle with because all of us have grown up with this concept of, oh, nobody's perfect, nothing's perfect. Basically, I mean, even there's a lot of even technical things. Like, oh, nothing's perfect, but the thing is, it possibly is, because if we're going to be truly spiritual beings and believe in an omnipresent type of, I'm going to say God a lot, but again, you can use whatever term you like in this. I've often said, there's no particular religion I subscribe to here. But if we are going to believe in some sort of perfect, higher creator of some sort, then why would a perfect creator create anything less than perfect? And the thing is, it's just we see things as imperfect, but perhaps they really are perfect, and that's something else to really start thinking about, even ourselves. We constantly say, I've always disliked the phrase, well, I'm only human. And like I heard one time, these I used to ride the bus a lot in Los Angeles when I was younger, and I remember hearing these two girls in front of me, and they were talking about a boyfriend, and who basically sounded like a complete ass, right? And the one girl goes, well, he's only human. And I just remember cringing when I heard that, because no, that's a cop out. That's an excuse, because human beings are magnificent beings. So when we say things like that to ourselves, like, oh well, I'm only human, we're basically copping out, and we are letting ourselves off the hook, because I think we are a lot more than that, and I feel like it's time we all start realizing this and working towards it. I work on this diligently myself, and I make progress, but I get it. It's a slow road, but I want it to be a better road and a higher road. So, but anyway, so basically, the other thing is too is a lot of times when we have experiences in our lives that aren't so great, a lot of times we will say, oh well, God must have wanted me to go through this, or this must have been my lesson, or what have you. Maybe I wasn't supposed to have that. Well, no. God wants you to have your perfect self. God wants you to have everything, abundance, go forth, multiply, all those great things, right? It's like we are the ones that decided to be where we are, not God. We individually, all of us, we are responsible for where we are. We have decided to be where we are. That is not God's decision. God didn't do that. So as far as, I don't know, maybe location, maybe, I don't know. I don't propose to have all the answers of things like that, but that just kind of makes sense. It's like, I can think of some pretty, ridiculous things I've been through in my life. And for me to say, oh, well, God must have wanted that for me. Well, no, it was, I can see very clearly and very logically all the steps that led up to me being in that said position. So, also, too, real quick, I want to read this passage. It's a really cool book. It's an old book. I'm sure it's out of print, but there's the cover. If you guys are interested, want to look it up or anything like that. I want to read this real quick, and I know it's no fun to hear things being read, but this is a really, really good story. Okay, so let's see. So in this chapter, they're talking about how we create our experiences. And the author says, for example, let us suppose that a certain man who lives in Kansas City suddenly feels a deep desire to move to the West Coast, to live near the ocean. He scarcely gives consideration to this desire, for he is sure that he cannot give up his job, which is his only means to support him and his family. Besides, he knows that his wife would never consent to their moving away from Kansas City, where all of their relatives live, and the children would not wish to leave their school. So our friend ignores his desire. So he thinks. But in his subconscious mind, he begins to develop a negative feeling about his present job and home, without realizing that he himself, through his own desire, has caused it. He is amazed and horrified when his employer tells him that he is no longer needed in his job. So far, basically, what we're talking about is, this guy, he wants to move to the West Coast, wants to move to Cali, right? Live in LA, the dream, all that kind of stuff. But he's like, oh no, that could never happen. My wife would never do it. The kids would never want to leave school, blah, blah, blah. But he has created this desire. So subconsciously, that desire doesn't go away, and it's going to keep working in the background. So the thing is, now he, like it says, but in his subconscious mind, he begins to develop a negative feeling about his present job and home. So subconsciously now he's like hating his job all of a sudden. He's hating where he lives all of a sudden because he realizes he can't have that other desire. And if you think about that, this happens to us all the time. Think about that even in terms of relationships, in terms of, our jobs, all those things. Anyway, okay, so he goes through a period of self-rejection and great anxiety since he lost his job, as he finds that there are no positions in his line of work available in Kansas City. He does not realize that he himself is negating every opportunity. He goes through a sad period of struggle and lack. His family is anxious and tense, and disharmonies arise. Finally, an old friend from California comes to visit him and tells him that he knows of an opening in his line of work there. Can he move to California? By now, our friend is forced to leave Kansas City, and he must borrow money to finance the move to California so that he can again be employed. A series of struggles brought him to the locality where he had desired to live in the first place. He looks back on it all now and says it all happened for the best. Had he, in the beginning, had the faith to recognize his desire to live on the West Coast, had he prayed for the fulfillment of this desire with the blessing of all concerned, that's huge, had he possessed the faith to set out with divine guidance to find employment in California and to initiate a move there, he could have enjoyed the pleasure of fulfilling his desire without the worry and struggle which he endured. Okay, so I really liked that example. I think that's a really, really good example, and makes a lot of sense. I can think of several times where that has, if you really think about it too, I'm sure you can come up with things where that has been the case, where you have desired something, but you do get it, but it's not quite what you expected, or it took so much, that you didn't even recognize that you got it. Things like that happen quite a bit. Okay, so what we're going to do now, so the basis of that too, as I move into the all science reading, is to really start Manifestation is such a weird thing. I go back and forth with it because, as I've said in my life, there's been different times where I have, and I've mentioned it before in some of my older videos. But at one point, I kid you not, I was manifesting $100,000, and I was $5,000 short of that, but I basically manifested $100,000 in about, I'd say, 6 to 8 months. I think it was about 6 months. This was quite a few years ago, and that's when I was able to open my own metaphysical bookstore and all of these things. But and you'd think, well, okay, then do that again, and it's like, the thing is, I got hung up that it was a certain phrase that I was saying, and I lost the book. So in my mind, it's like, I have that hang up that, I can never do that again because I don't have that phrase, and I don't know what that book was that I read. So, see, that's the way the mind works. It makes all these excuses and makes all of these things. And even the things, silly things, like possibly when you were a child, you could have, you're had a tantrum or something like that, and possibly your mom or your dad or something, says, well, you know what, you don't deserve ice cream, or you don't deserve to have this, or no, you don't deserve to stay up till 9 p.m. or, and if that was constant, like a lot of that type of talk, then you may be, subconsciously you may be feeling like you don't deserve certain things, or that you have to go through this turmoil in order to get this. That's only reserved for, the pure, the pure people, or, whatever. There's all these like things that are built up. I mean, this talk could go on for ages, quite frankly, because basically what you got to do is you got to get to the root of shit, right? You got to look at all of, and I've talked about this before, but you got to look at all of the culture that you've sucked in, over your life. If you were in the 60s growing up, you had idealistic love scenarios. They were just too idealistic, possibly, right? But then crossing over into the 70s, then we have the like depressing ass, torrid love stories. All the movies were dark, they were grim, they were more gritty, real, that sort of thing. Then going back into the 80s, where things are more romanticized again, almost akin to more like the 50s, or something, love at first sight and all this kind of stuff came back in the 80s, or scandalous. It usually was either or. So it was either just overly romanticized or it was scandalous. And then the 90s love stories were basically just sex. Most of the, most everything was equated to sex in the 90s. So, what I'm saying? It's like, we have all these cultural influences, and that stems from music as well. It's the same pattern, same pattern with the music that I just followed with the movies. And please don't ever negate how important those things are. They are soaked in our brains, okay? And I've said that a million times. I'm not going to harp on it too much, more, because, I do mention that a lot. But it's just that the simplest way I always explain this is this way. If I had not grown up listening to, like, the Rolling Stones and Janis Joplin, okay, and instead I listened to the Carpenters and Donny Osmond, don't you think I'd be a different person? Don't you think I would have different views? It's just obvious, so it's like these things do affect us. So please take those things into consideration and look at what your favorite love story is. And if it's, dissect that. Why is that your favorite love story or love part in a movie or what have you? Or, your favorite song. Why is it your favorite song? If it's not associated with a memory, like if it's your favorite song because of a lyric or something like really look at that. Like, is there something that can help you there to get to the root of things? But basically that's what we need to do in order to start manifesting much more better for us, much more powerful for us, is to do a huge power wash of your brain. Get into all those nooks and crannies and decrepit cobwebbed corners of things that are just sitting there that need to be power washed. Like literally close your eyes and envision, a big leaf blower, blowing out all of this stuff, that is stacked in there, and really start seeing the world afresh, anew, and getting more excited about the world, because it's very easy right now to be in this bubble, in this shell, especially with all of the things going on right now, all of the changes that are occurring. And it's time is of the essence now to really start seeing things in a more exciting way rather than a more doomist, giving up kind of way. Okay? All right, so let's get started. So what we are going to do for all signs is we are going to do what you need to clear out. What you need to clear out now. Okay, out of that, the decrepit space of, with the cobwebbed mind and all those types of things. So this could have something possibly to do with childhood. This could have something to do with something that's happened midlife, what have you. Something happening now. Any type of area of your life. Don't be limited to just thinking about now. So like if, for instance, if you're going through a breakup right now and that's hard and all that, don't be limited to using this reading for like, oh, that's what I need to clear out. Well, it's probably not the breakup that you need to clear out. It's probably the something that led you to the breakup, those types of things. So let's think deeper with this type of work and let's see what we get. All right. So let's start with Aries. Aries. Or any placement. Again, like I say with these readings, you can just use it as a pick-a-read if you want. If there's different areas that you're concerned about that you want to use this reading for, then use it as a pick-a-read and, use the 12 signs as the 12 piles, the 12 stacks. So in other words, maybe you're thinking, ooh, I want to see what I need to clear out in regards to my early childhood. Well, then choose, and you're picking a read, pick Scorpio. If you want, like if that sticks out to you, even if you're not a Scorpio, you get what I'm saying? So you can use it in that way too. Okay, so Aries and or any placement, what do they need to clear out, please? What do you need to clear out, Aries? And or any placement? Aries. Thank you. Okay. Okay, some of you may have had a very, very, very strict father, a very rule-oriented father, stern, or just unemotional father. Some of you may be this way. Some of you may be just way too logical, like separated from emotion completely. So you need to add more emotional. Yeah, I feel like for many of you, it's very difficult to take risks because, oh, that's not logical, or, oh, that's not the way things are done. That's not the plan. So, and I don't know where that stems from. That's up to you guys, to kind of, view if this, obviously this cannot resonate with everyone, out there. So, I urge you to do this deep thinking on your own for sure. But if the cards do resonate a little bit, hopefully they can kind of, stimulate, more thought. So, I mean, I would say with these cards, what to clear out. Yeah, someone I feel was just way too logical or too stern or too stoic with you, or you are that way, and you miss out on taking just fun kind of leaps of faith and more trust in source, and just leaping towards things. Even if there's not a detailed plan, I'm sensing. Okay, let's see. Some of you may have moved around a lot also, and that makes you like very nervous, like where now you feel like you really have to have plans. You may have been moved around a lot. And many of you may have had a very just distant father figure of some sort. So there could have been early divorce or, God forbid, early loss, something along those lines. whoever this is was extremely intuitive, though. They were, and they had their things that they needed to look at. They didn't pay attention to that. So they may have gotten to a point in their life where they didn't like the fact that they had so much intuition. Instead, they decided to cover that up and just become this more stoic type, logical, type person, or stern person, or strict person. Okay. It could have something to do with an Aquarius also. You have a lot of Aquarius cards here. Pisces, possibly. Yeah. See, so I feel like this is Source urging you to heal, from situations, and start looking forward to more fun, more spontaneous fun, really, and having more faith that things will work out, for you. What we spoke about in the intro. So yeah, hard times are over. Look forward to an abundance of happiness, enthusiasm, and positivity. So this is where you're needing to aim more, I feel, and get beyond these certain things. So many of you, I feel, just like writing down a lot would really be beneficial for you. Like the what was that book in the 90s, like the artist way, I think it's called, The Artist's Way, where I think Julie Cameron, and she talks about just like waking up every morning and just writing on paper. Like, it doesn't have to make a sense, you're not making a story, or you're not writing a paper or anything like that. You're just writing whatever the heck, like, it's called basically mind dumping. Just whatever words come into your mind, just fill up the pages, like 2 or 3 pages of that in the morning, and then start your day. Like, I feel like some of you guys need to do more mind dumping of things, definitely. So yeah, very nice though. So I feel like you do have a lot of enthusiastic, positive things that you could be doing right now, but it's this matter of putting something behind you here, and being able to just have more faith in that you are and looking more forward to abundance and happiness. Okay. Let's see. Okay, Taurus. And as always, I highly suggest everybody watch the intro. These will make more sense. Okay, Taurus. And or any placement, Taurus. And or any placement. Taurus. What to clear out now? Taurus, please. Again, be open-minded. This may not be something that has to do with current energies. This could have something that goes way back. All right. Taurus, what does Taurus need to clear out now? Thank you. Okay. Okay, Taurus, yours is very, very, very similar to Aries. Okay, I am getting that you moved around a lot as a child, possibly. I'm getting that vibe too. I'm also getting that you are too cautious. You let everyone else's comfortability or comfort level come first before you feel like you can charge ahead. So, which is more like Cancerian energy, really. So I would not be surprised if you don't have like Cancer moon or Cancer rising or prominent in your chart somewhere. I really get the sense here that like what to clear out is like I love the Hanged Man is a great card because it's a person who will see all perspectives in all sides of something, or someone who is trying to. So I love that. But for some reason, this is showing up as not necessarily a deficit, because nothing, that as according to the intro, nothing is bad or good or what have you. Everything's just perfect, right? But this is saying, I feel like you want to make sure everybody's okay before you move forward with something. And I also feel like you give and give to, because you feel like you need to, like in other words, this person, may not, well, I don't feel it's like a deep thing, like where like, oh, they may not like me, so I'm going to give them a gift. I don't think it's like that necessarily, but it's something like that. All right. Where like you feel like you just need to give a lot, in like it's your duty almost. And like it's almost a self-punishment, I feel, in a weird way. Like you may not recognize it as that. You may just recognize it as like, oh no, I just see things from all perspectives and I just want to give to everyone. But I almost feel like you keep giving and to everyone except yourself moving forward. So that it could stem from childhood, because we do have a childhood card here. And I feel this is strongly something that you are not seeing, how this is keeping you trapped from your dream, your manifestation. So yeah, I really, really feel like there is, like, this may not resonate, but it's one of those things that it may, think about it and think if it fits. Because I almost feel like you're almost too, it's a good thing to want to help other people and want to see other perspectives and all of those things. That's a very, great thing to be. Makes us more worldly and more giving and, all those types of things. But again, not at the detriment that you yourself are not moving forward. I feel like you're not seeing how much that by giving to others, you're not, you're just keeping trapped and you're not giving to yourself. And I feel the giving to others, not that it's not sincere. I do feel it's sincere, and it does come from a genuine energy. But in a sense, though, I feel it does come from fear, if you really take it to its root. Fear of, maybe someone won't like you, or, people won't like you, or, something along those lines is what I'm getting. Let me get your other card. All right. Taurus. Okay, cool. I like that. Yeah, see, an angel is here at the bottom. Like, I feel like you're like an angel, but you are almost running with it too much. It's like you need to be an angel for yourself. It's like I feel like you're an angel to everyone else, but you do need to be an angel to yourself as well. Yeah. So let's see. I like this. You are attracting emotional fulfillment and unconditional love. But see, this is what's important here. The unconditional love, because as I always say, the unconditional, to really truly fully understand true unconditional love, we must feel that for ourselves first, and then it's a true unconditional love when we extend that outwardly. So yeah, I really feel like that is what is going on for you guys. Okay, let's see. Geminis and or any placement. Gemini and or any placement, please. What do they need to clear out now? Geminis and or any placement. What do you need to clear out now? Geminis, what do Geminis need to clear out? Please, Geminis. Again, very similar to the other two. So somebody may have all these three placements or something, or just doing a lot of the same question, because it's almost the same. Um, or maybe we all have a lot in common. That could be too on this channel. Yeah, so I feel like with the judgment card here, like what needs to be cleared out is that like possibly like making judgments. So you may be very, very opinionated by that's motivated by fear. So, in other words, if you had like a very unstable childhood where it didn't feel very safe and secure, or something along those lines, I feel like the that you may have created, just sort of like your view of the way the world is, which of course we all have, but I mean, you're very like clear on it and you don't really waver on it. And you dismiss people who are, it's like you envy them, but you dismiss, that for yourself. Like you dismiss being fancy free or taking just things on a whim or what have you. You perhaps feel that, and this could come definitely. This has something to do with childhood. All right, school in particular. So something about school could be like a clue as to what needs to be cleared out. Or, the other thing is too, perhaps you were a very, fancy-free, footloose, fancy-free child or something like that, and that, there was a lot of judgment about you because of that. That could be too. So it could work either way. I think for most of you, though, that things felt more not really a controlled environment. And so I feel like you made your own kind of structure. And by doing that, though, you formed these pretty firm judgments about, like, this should be that way, and this should be this way, and this is the way this should go. And you're very, you stick to that. Queen of Swords, hey, saying it how it needs to go. So, yeah, I feel like there's something here, though. Something about, school or a teacher in particular. Could have been a teacher in particular. Yeah, it's something that really changed your idea on how the world works, I feel. Okay. So some of you may have had to overcome challenges as well, like perhaps, as a child you moved to like a different country or something like that, and that, really, could have some kind of bearing on some things too. Okay, but mostly I'm getting, though, that like what you need to clear out is basically judgment on things. So like, that's not saying like, oh my God, you need to throw away all your beliefs, or no, that's not what I'm saying. But there is a sense of needing to realize that, well, being a little more flexible with things, listening, really hearing other people's viewpoints, and understanding that not everybody can be, Queen of Swords, doing it this way, and then that way, and then they succeed, or have success with the situation. That everybody has their own way, their own different ways of doing things, and being okay with that, including yourself. So not always having to stick exactly to the plan, or, or feel like, oh, wow, I could never do that. That's just so, oh man, that I would never do that. That's just not right. Or, things like that, like they say never. Because as soon as you do that, as soon as you say, oh, I'll never do this, well, what usually happens. So, yeah, I feel like there is something that needs to be cleaned out that has something to do with either someone who was very judgmental towards you in your life. Because this could be that you were a very worldly child, and you wanted to be very adventurous, and you wanted to be very, adventurous and all over the place, but you possibly had a very, very judgmental parent. So that could be too. There's something here to be cleared out, though, about someone who is judgmental about things. Okay. All right. There are spiritual messages and great wisdom to be found during this time, during this period of transition. Yeah, that's it too. So I feel like a lot of, yeah, it's like spirituality. I feel needs to. It could even be. I don't get Hierophant vibes off this, but almost like a spiritual upbringing too that maybe didn't really mesh with your plan. Yeah, some of you guys just really need to go deeper again. Some of you, I'm getting to, you had like a very early childhood experience of something phenomenal, spiritual wise, pretty amazing. Like you saw like an apparition, or you saw like you had an amazing, and I'm not just talking about like a little, a little spiritual situation, like something like really big, like some of you had something like that and you've forgotten that also. And I feel like that can come back out. Yeah, because there's something here where you need to be. I feel. I'm not saying you need to be. It's just the way I talk when I'm looking at the cards. So it's just kind of like talking through me, whatever. But like the cards saying like that, or the feeling I'm getting from this is that you need to open up more to spiritual messages. That's going to lead you to a lot of like newfound territory, and a lot, yeah, and great wisdom. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and fire is at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, let go of emotional upheaval and embrace the renewal of the present. Yeah, you have two cards about like something's going on right now. That during this period of transition, and embrace the renewal of the present. So there's something going on here that needs to be embraced more. Fire is very mystical, and owls, have that spiritual wisdom, the messages, things like that. So yeah, I really feel like there's something going on right now. So don't let judgments get in your way. Don't be judging yourself. Don't be judging others too harshly or anything like that. Or if you were raised in a very judgmental household that said, oh my God, you can't do that. You can't just take off to, South America. Oh my God, this will happen and that'll happen. No, just don't let that go, and, of course, again, general reading, you do what's best for you. Okay. All right, Cancers, let's see about Cancers. What do Cancers need to clear out now? Cancers, the intro will make a lot more sense with this reading, so check that out. And also don't forget, you can treat this as a pick a card kind of reading and just use the 12 signs as different areas. So, for instance, if you want to know what to clear out, from your childhood, maybe use the 12 signs as a pick a card, or if you want to know what to clear out currently, that sort of thing. Okay, so let's see, Cancers. What do we got for you? What to clear out now, please? Cancers, what do Cancers need to clear out? This could be from any time period of their life, but what they need to be clearing out now. What do they need to let go of now? Clean it out, power wash it out. Okay. Curiouser and curiouser, weren't you? You were little curious kids. Okay. Most of you had a father that was not in the picture. Okay. Or just had a lot of ambitions that kept them away from you, or like they were like very interested in a lot of different things and didn't really they weren't around that much, but they were probably interesting and fascinating. Okay. I feel many of you as children were super, super smart, but you had no direction. And that continued. I think you were fascinated by life. You had a lot of different things that you were interested in. I'm seeing all kinds of like fun things, like as a like through a child's eye, like mummies and just like science and geology and botany. Just I'm seeing like you were very trains even, or like just fascinated by like, yeah, I'm seeing the things that move the wheels, like on a train, those like bars and the wheels going underneath them, and how the bars go back and forth. Like, I don't know, like just everything fascinated you. I feel like there's 50 million imagery things going through my head right now. So I feel like you guys had a lot of interest as children, and probably still do. But it's like I'm getting the sense here that that you were not really directed as a child, okay? So you probably didn't have much direction. Or, if you did, if you did have direction, then I feel like that just bothered, like it annoyed you, because it's like, no, I want to do this and I want to do that and I want to do this and I want to do that. So it could go either way, but I feel like for most of you, it was lack of direction. Like, you may have even been, most likely you were probably smarter than your parents, and I feel like they kind of didn't know what to do with you, in a sense. I also feel like as children that you really separated yourself emotionally from everything. And you just like read a lot, or you just wrote a lot, or you just really, you studied a lot, or, something along those lines. Maybe even played sports, or, were outside a lot, digging up worms, or, something like that. And, inspecting them. I don't know. I just get curiouser and curiouser, like that Curious George book, like that just like totally came into my mind when I first put these cards down. So I feel like what you need to clear out, okay, is there's definitely most likely a daddy issue here, all right, of some sort, okay, which not, doesn't have to be, but probably. And if you're a male too, this could be also like, your father may have been very either creative or very sports minded, and maybe you were very more emotional and more creative and things like that. So like either he was sportsy and you were like not, the opposite of that, or the opposite of that. He was more creative and more about entrepreneurship and things like that, but you were more about sports. That could be too. So either or. But either way, is I get the sense like the emotional bonding was not super strong, is what I'm seeing here. So it was kind of all over the place. I don't feel there's a lack of love here. I don't. But I do feel like there's a lack of learning about love here. And I think that there was a high emphasis on looking for fulfillment in every other place except actually relationships. So that, I feel like there's something to clear out here that is alluding to something to do with childhood. Accepting that, yeah, but this may, I would accept this because this is probably what makes you so damn interesting, how you are now. So that's one way that we can try to get over things like that. All right. But I do feel like this has more deep-seated. And have you guys noticed all the pages coming out? I mean, all the and the children cards. Most of this stuff is from childhood, so that gives you a clue right there. So, like, if this does not resonate, again, do your own research on your own, because a lot of times this does have to do with like the way we see the world, and from child's eyes. So yeah, I feel like what to clear out is something to do with differences. Something to do with a father for most of you, not all of you, doesn't have to be, but I do feel like a father is a strong role in this. A father that just didn't necessarily know how to, that wanted to, but didn't necessarily know how to show the right love, okay, is what I'm getting. and hence like things were all over the place, I feel. And there, I just feel no direction. That's what I'm getting the most. So that is something to clean out. So in other words, you might find yourself telling yourself, oh, I don't know, I have no direction. Oh, I don't know what I want to do. I want to do so many things. You know, you might be having phrases like this that have been going on throughout your life that you need to knock out, you know, and get more focused, I feel. Okay. So let's see. Also, too, possibly some of you could have had, you know, drugs or alcohol in your early life, you know, with these two. Okay, let's see. Cancers. Phoenix, love it. Okay, so you have the Phoenix card. Be prepared to be renewed after a period of crisis. So I do feel like you are on your way to rising above a lot of things right now. You have a choice in front of you. Most of you probably have some sort of choice in front of you right now. So it's, you know, this card is about, it says there are two paths ahead. Be true to yourself. So, you know, when decisions come up or two paths are pretty apparent, you know, in front of us, and we are trying to make decisions, try to see like, you know, ourselves in the future, and which one are we going to feel comfortable was the right action, you know, and that's the best way to do this. But yeah, I do feel like you are on your way up. I feel like you are in the process right now of transforming your life in many ways and only choosing things that are true to yourself. So I do feel like you are overcoming this energy, which is really good. Okay, Cancers. Leo. All right, Leos. Leos and or any placement. Leos and or any placement, since you can use this as a pick a card for any area of your life, but this is for Leo Sun and or any placement. What to clear out? Leos. Please watch the intro, it'll make more sense. Leo. What to clear out, Leos? Okay. All right. Okay. I feel like many of you, when you were younger, really had a hard time making friends. Again, with the pages. Okay. And there's something about that still sticks with you today. Even if you are popular now, even if you have, like, you know, no social issues and you're good and you have no problems talking with people, you have more confidence now and things like that, there's still something about it, I feel, that does need to be cleaned out or something along those lines. Some of you could have had like a very, very, very like depressed sibling, like an older brother perhaps, or something along those lines, and that could be something that weighs very heavily on you. And of course, I'm not saying, oh, clear it out, you know, like forget about that, you know, or anything like that, but there's definitely something to look at there. It would just be drawing it. That's when we, you know, we draw attention to things and like, okay, maybe I'm not settled with that situation, or maybe I need to think about that more, or maybe I need to release more and give love to that situation, or, you know, what have you. So ding. Okay. So I do feel like that is the case for some of you. Others of you too, I feel like you may have had drinking parents, and like you were the adult. You might have like kept things together like by humor, or, you know, something along those lines, going within the family. Somebody was depressed in your early life, I feel. Maybe it was you, you know, that could be too. Well, I'm sure you were, regardless if you were around, you know, that or not. But some of you, like you really tried to help this person or help this situation, or like either that, or you could even possibly feel guilt for not noticing the situation. Some of you, like everything was good, you know, oh, my life is good, you know, but you didn't realize, possibly that like your brother or your sister or something was going through more heavier things, and possibly you feel guilt for that, or something. There's a 50 million things this could be, but it's like there's something here about youth and someone else. I feel that cause you a lot of anxiety and fear, and still possibly does. Because again, we're looking at things that may, from any time period that need to be cleaned up now, or cleared out now, or what have you, addressed. Okay, so so there's that. The other scenario I see, if that doesn't really hit for you, is I would just say lack of interest. Some of you may have gotten it drilled into your head that it's like, oh, what's the use? Because it's like, oh, you'll never be this, or you'll never be that, or you'll never be this or that, or what have you. So it's like, oh, offers don't come out of the sky. So you could have had a very pessimistic parent, or negative, parenting, because I feel like you were like, I almost get the sense like you're all dressed up, you're ready to go, you've got this cup, and you're feeling good, and you're feeling confident, and then here's the parent going, what'd you think if you did this, that was going to happen? Like they like knock you down, or knocked you down in some ways, and then it's like, oh, and then that put you more into like, oh yeah, that's true. Why would I deserve that? Or I'd never get that. So, there's a lot of different things I see here. There's a lot of scenarios I see here, but for time's sake, and it is a general reading, I'll just stick with those. Those are the two that I see the most. Yeah, I feel like there's definitely something to revisit about childhood for you guys. I mean, that's whatever, there's something about a situation that you are still holding on to this day as an adult is what I see. Like if you have sleepless nights and you're like, God, I don't know why I can't sleep, I'm not really thinking about anything, or I'm not worried about anything. Well, it's probably because there still is stuff, your subconscious is, and it could be still self-sabotaging very subtly. Okay, so let's see. Message for Leo, please. Lion. You guys got this the other day. I love it. All right. That's pretty cool. Harness the loyal and protective aura of the lion and charge ahead magnificently. Oh, I like that. Yeah, because I feel like somebody really kind of gave you the impression that you can't do something. And it's just not the case. Others of you too, if this is about your own child, like you may have a very, very like non-participatory other parent. Okay, like they are just like not showing any interest in helping or something along those lines. That could be too. Or if your child is going through something and you're getting this like sort of, protective aura about you, like where you're wanting to roar and, all that sort of thing, it could be because it's bringing up things, again, from your own childhood that make you want to be protective over your own child. So, but yeah, I do like this though. Yeah, and sometimes, you do need to roar. Sometimes you need to be heard and stand up for yourself and not be bullied in any way or anything like that. It's a fine line, because Leos, you can sometimes, I'm going to be honest, I don't sugarcoat things, but you guys can go overboard. So it's like a fine line, because you are so bold. You do have so much energy that when you do unleash that, it can be, wow, way too much. So it's like, it's a wisdom. Right, it's a subtle wisdom of knowing like when to really harness that loyal and protective aura, and charge ahead magnificently. Not charge ahead like rah, and just tearing up everything in sight. No, charging ahead magnificently. Okay, so really, really interesting on that one. Okay, Leos. Let's see, Virgo. All right, Virgos. Okay, what to clear out, Virgos? What to clear out? Virgo and or any placement. If you are using this as a pick a card. Or for Virgo Sun and or any placement, please. Virgos, what do they need to clear out? Virgos, what do you need to clear out? Virgos, please. Okay, so I feel like this one's a more current one, not a, this is the first one I've seen that seems to be more like current rather than like the child. Yeah, like the child needs mended, sort of thing. Let me get a little bit on this. So, okay. The Ace of Wands is pretty good. You know what I'm getting here? I don't think you have too much, is what I'm getting, Virgo. For some, it could possibly be, how can I say it delicately? Issues, like within the marriage, sexuality, things like that. Okay. So for some of you, it could have something to do with that. There might be something to look at there from a different perspective. Okay. So sexuality and marriage, there could be a conversation that needs to be had, or, something along those lines. Okay. So for some, for others, let's see. I'm really not getting too much on this, so I really don't get the sense that there is too much to like clear out, and everybody's got stuff, that sort of thing, but I'm not really hitting on this one. I'm not really getting this as being like one of those deep, darker issues, which those are what I usually pick up on easier. All right, quite frankly. So this one, I just feel like it's because the Ace of Wands is basically like energy, excitement, creativity, that spark. That's what the Ace of Wands, those are like keywords for Ace of Wands, so I don't really feel like that's something to be cleared out. That's pretty good. Unless the thing is like you consistently like are, like if you want to be here, if you want to be in the Ten of Pentacles area, which is the security, the legacy, the money, the safety, the safe zone, all those sorts of things, a very secure marriage, secure financially, having a home, all those types of things. If that's what you're trying to do, the only thing I can say is, possibly is this is someone who just keeps coming up with ideas, but then they get stuck like looking at things from different perspectives, so they never like follow through to get there. So that would be one thing I would say is possible. So there could be something that, you need to just like get more real with yourself and start a plan and tell yourself, look, don't quit, don't put the swords in something before it's done. Keep going. Because this is like the idea and the spark of ideas and all those types of things. But then this is the seeing things to fruition. One other thing too is possibly some of you could have come from a very reserved family. All right, Ten of Pentacles, very reserved and cautious and a little stoic, something like that, whereas like you're like, no, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, I want to do that. And it's like, in a sense, I feel like this is saying, well, don't forget to see other perspectives, because you may be looking at this as a bad thing, like, oh, I don't want to be like my parents, they were so safe and secure and blah blah, that sort of thing. No, I want to be, free, and I want to do this and that, and that's cool, absolutely. But also see their side of the story too, because we do, we need all kinds of people in this world. So I mean, with the Hanged Man here, there could be something about that needing to clear out conceptions. Like not everything can always be like brand new and exciting, and to get here, it can't be this all the time. sometimes we do have to, well, I'm not going to say can't be, that's putting a limit on things, but that may be something that you're struggling with. Usually to get to the Ten of Pentacles, it starts with this, but then we've got to follow through. We've got to make a plan. We can't kill the plan before it started. So I feel like follow through might be something that is like, something to clean out. All right. And look at things from different perspectives, as I said to you. Also, too, if there's any like sort of virility issues or anything like that, I feel like if a doctor is not really helpful, like a more of a holistic approach would be very helpful. I'm getting now, of course, this is a general reading. So by no means whatsoever am I suggesting, not to go to, none of those things. But, if you're not having much luck with sexual issues or something like that, then a holistic or, even like a psychic or like a shamanish, type approach might, may be the way to go. Okay. But mostly, I don't get anything really deep and pressing for you guys. I might not have hit it, that could be too. I mean, maybe there is a message there, but I'm not perfect either, so I don't see them all. But I feel like there's not anything too pressing there is what I'm getting. So most likely you guys have done a lot of work already on that stuff. All right, so let's see. Okay, universal energy brings you opportunity and possibility. And patience is here. Well, that is interesting. All right, so some of you may, and I am getting that. Like, you may be very impatient, and that stems from what I said earlier. Like, if you want to get to here, you may just keep trying new things, instead of sticking with something. Killing off your plan too early. So I do see, because this can mean patience also. So you have here the birth card. Universal energy brings you opportunity and possibility. Okay. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah. So you get opportunities and you get possibilities, but then I feel this is where you're lacking, is in the patience to slow down, change your attitude, clear your mind, and make a real effort to see it through. To like the longevity, to the culmination. Yeah, that's definitely what, there's something about that to clear out. So not idea after idea after idea after idea after idea. Take an idea, stick with it. The universe is giving you, these opportunities and possibilities, but you have to slow down and you have to change your attitude about things and clear your mind. This is very much a meditation card. All right, where you get that and I feel like you could have a legacy here, basically is what it's saying. Okay, all right, it took me a minute to get there, but there we go. Libra. Oh, let me get my water. Guess what Molly did? Molly sat down without her water. Hang on, Libras. Okay, Libra, what to clear out? Libra, what to clear out? Libra, what to clear out, please, Libras? What to clear out? Libras, please. Libra, what to clear out? And or any placements? And or any placement that you have chosen this for. What do you need to clear out? There we go. And I do feel somebody chose this as a placement. I just heard someone did. Okay. Okay. Cool. All right. Okay. So I do not feel this is a childhood one read either. All right, I feel this is more of a current situation of things are changing, and I feel like there's a sense of needing to start seeing what you want to see in your world with this. All right, so I don't feel this is like past things that are haunting you or lurking in your subconscious. I feel like this is more of like what to kind of approach. Okay, so the death card is very much about like reinventing ourselves after a pretty significant issue, or some kind of traumatic situation, or a breakup or a loss, or a defeat, or something of that nature. It's where we pick ourselves up and we reinvent ourselves. We just keep well, we don't just do it automatically, but we start working on doing that. We do not let something just keep us down. So I feel like you are going through a major transition right now, or recently, okay, and you are starting to come to terms with that, and very soon it's like you're going to have a lot of options, and need to start deciding what you want to see in your world, because I feel like there's a lot of exciting options opening up for you. So I don't feel like this is a deep, dark, depressing type, sitch. I mean, well, possibly. I mean, for some, it could actually deal with like inheritance and loss, and things of that nature. But what I mean by that, like, I don't feel like this is some deep-rooted thing that really needs to be, gleaned and grabbed out of the depths of the corners of our mind or anything like that. So I get the sense like what to be cleaned out right now is just a sense of there could actually be legal things that you need to take care of, and get those like cleaned out of your head, or taken care of, or what have you, and choices. I feel you are very near to needing to make a choice about what like feeling at a crossroads of like, again, what you are going to want to see in your world. I feel like many of you are going to have major changes within 2 months, and many of you may need to get like your finances in order in some way. Some of you may need to make some decisions pretty soon. If you have, suffered some sort of loss or something along those lines, obviously my condolences, and all those types of things, because this can be loss and inheritance. I mean, that's, I'm sure that's not for every Libra out there, but I feel like, that's basically what it's saying, is to, like, just what you need to clear out or clean out or what have you is to not let this hold you back, and to understand the deeper transitioning of life and all of those things. And of course, we're going to be sad, we're going to be this, we're going to be that, but like not letting it hold you back, and also creating more balance within things. So in other words, if there's others involved or something like that, reaching out to them, and hopefully they're reaching out to you, whatever the situation is. I do feel like, a good reaching out, is indicated here also. So if there's been possibly like a family rift or something along those lines, I feel like that's what to clean, bring that into balance, and make a good conscious effort to move towards fixing that situation. That could be as well. If it's been a breakup or something like that, because again, I'm not getting this as like way back energy. It could be for some of you, but I feel like this is more current situation, because there's no like child type cards here. So I feel like this is more of like, if there's been a breakup or something like that, it's time to clear that out. And, I always say it's not like, oh, we just clear it out and we're done and we never think of that person again. No, of course not. But it's time to definitely work on reinventing yourself. Okay. And finding like what was unbalanced about that situation, and then making, again, a conscious choice to start seeing the types of things you want to see in your world. All right. So yours is more of moving more towards manifestation than it is towards really like I feel like you've done the deep work here already. So now it's just time to balance it out and make some choices and not be all over the place. It's basically what I'm seeing there. Okay, so let's see. I see more fun in your future too. Like things will get better, or like if this is, if it's been a breakup or something, this is dating, and fun and things like that. Okay, so let's see. Libra. And or any placement. Okay, the moon. Yeah. Pay attention to your intuition at this time and move ahead confidently. And that's exactly what you have going on here, because this is moving ahead. It really is. It's moving forward. You're moving towards something that will be balanced out. And this is moving, making a choice and moving ahead confidently. So I feel this is very good. So yeah, pay attention to your intuition. There's a lot of options out there for you right now. So, but you'll choose the right situation. Just pay attention to your intuition. And then once you do it with confidence. All right. Okay, Scorpio. You also, I just noticed that too. You have flowers at the bottom of the deck. And the reason that caught my eye, because you did have the Six of Pentacles, which is a card of like being, giving to situations, and it says flowers. Be generous. Success and emotional fulfillment are yours. Okay. Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio. And or any placement. What do you need to clear out, Scorpio? Scorpio, please. What do you need to clear out? What was mine? Oh, I remember. Mine was choices. That's about right. Typical. Okay, Scorpio. What to clear out? Scorpios, please. What do you guys need to clear out? Scorpio. Yeah, Death card. Wow. Two of Wands. Wow, very similar. Oh, wow. And the Moon card came out in Libras, and look, this was in Libras read. These are very similar to Libras, so maybe some of you guys are cuspy. That could be very possible here. Okay, so let's see. What do you guys need to clear out? So definitely, I mean, with your card here, okay, I want to check the moon, because the moon is very elusive energy. Something hiding back there. What's hiding back there? What is that moon card hiding for Scorpios? Okay, for some Scorpios, I feel one of the things to clear out is you may feel like as soon as you start coming back around, like you just keep, running into like, oh, I forgot to tell you this, or something like that. Like, but it's nothing. It's like little hurdles. All right, but for some reason you may be seeing them as in your world as huge hurdles, but they're not. They're little hurdles, and I don't know what that could stem from. Possibly stems from something in childhood or something like that, where it's like maybe your parents made mountains out of molehills, or whatever that phrase is. Something like that. I'm getting. Also, too, some of you avoid making choices because you feel like everything's just unknown anyway. So why make a choice? Because I'm going to get there anyway, which is cool. That is kind of a cool, like, the spiritual way to look at things in a way. But almost, I feel it's to the point where you're almost bypassing, like you're enthralled by uh, addicted to, possibly, like the unknown of things, so much so that you, like, when somebody does see you in their world, like, you may just like trample over them, and you'd rather have something like more, mysterious or something like that. I'm getting. Also, too, some of you feel like you can't be taught. So, like, I feel like there's somebody here that has something, for you, but you're sort of like, again, trampling over that kind of thing is what I get. Let me get a card on the moon, please. That would totally be Scorpio. I remember my friend said one time, like, well, why don't you go see like a therapist or something? And I'm like, oh, I'd probably tell the therapist what they need. It's like we get so cocky, like we know everything already, and it's like, well, no, we can totally benefit, from other things for sure. So, let's see. Well, actually, my real excuse was when I really fessed up was, no, I'd probably fall in love with my therapist because I love people who are smart and have deep things to say. Okay, let's see. All right, the moon, Ace of Cups. Okay, so yeah, all right. So I feel like many of you are bypassing decisions and bypassing things because it's like you're looking for this like hidden love, this forbidden love, this amazing love or something along those lines. Or you have that could be too, and you need to clear that out. You need to have a conversation, okay, because you may be keeping your feelings in, okay, about who you are, what you want, and all of those types of things. And you may be avoiding choices, with these two aces, avoiding a conversation. So I feel like feelings and truth are what needs to be cleaned out. So get to the truth of a situation. Don't hide things from yourself. It's pointless. It's pointless. We do it all the time, but it's pointless. And really get to the core of like, what does love mean for you right now? Like, what is that hope springs eternal? What kinds of imagery comes to mind when you think of that? Like, close your eyes and picture the Ace of Cups with this, ever flowing water, and like, what comes to mind after that, or who comes to mind after that? See if there's anything to that. All right, so take some time with that. I feel there's something hidden here. You've been hiding like your own cup of love, your own self-love, your own self-truth that needs to be cleared out now. And definitely I feel like you need to some of you may need to trample over choices, because you're headed towards this. Some of you may need to do that. All right, you know yourself better than I do. Or others of you, like if you have the tendency not to, listen to anybody, like, oh, I can't be taught, oh, I can't be, oh, I know everything I need to know, or whatever, well, then that could be saying clear that out a little bit. Be open to new ideas and new things in your world and things like that, if they're new and they're fresh and, all that kind of thing. I feel like don't go to territories you've already been. Keep going to new territories and really flush out. Again, I highly suggest that, like closing your eyes and thinking about this Ace of Cups. You can even use that as like an imagery if you want, whatever. And then like when you see, like, what does this image mean to you? And then like close your eyes and like what types of things pop into your mind, either audio, or whatever, or visual, or what have you. Because that will probably give you a clue as to more about like what is love for you right now. And also to you guys need to just keep moving towards your truth and self-love. All right, basically is what I'm getting. So I don't feel like there's huge things to be cleared out right now, except this, like, because you're hiding it even from your hiding. Like, this is really, really hidden. Because we're already looking at things hidden, and then we get the card of things hidden. So I feel like these things are really hidden from you. Your truth, your justice, your true self, your voice, and your what love truly is for you. So those are the things to really kind of get in touch with. All right, let me get your other card here. Okay. So what is the message for Scorpio or anyone who chose Scorpio for this reading? Scorpio. Message for Scorpios. Okay. Luck. Okay. You are right to be strong and optimistic about the opportunities ahead. All right, yeah, because, it did occur to me, because I was thinking of it one way, like I said, this person's like trying to show you something, but the thing is, you're I don't want to ego you out, Scorpio, because I'm a Scorpio too, all right? So I don't want to, I know how we could be, but because sometimes we are too much this, where we just trample by things where we could learn something. I actually am kind of feeling the opposite here. I think you need to just keep going towards something that, like, it's going to be revealed to you. Your choices are very important right now. So I feel like you need to clean out anything that's not serving you, Scorpio, and be you, Scorpio, because that's your card. And only, like, you're moving towards the unknown, but what's going to be revealed is this, this empowerment, I feel. And you have this card of luck. You are right to be strong and optimistic about the opportunities ahead. So yeah, I feel like don't let things like slow you down or, barriers or, hey, wait, I want to talk to you, because you're on a horse, so like you can keep going. That's what I feel. So don't get slowed down. That doesn't mean ignore everyone around you or, trample over everyone around you. Of course not, but it's just don't get swayed from where you're headed, I feel. Okay. All right, Scorpio. Sagittarius. Okay, what to clear out, Sagittarius? What to clear out? Sagittarius and or any placement, please. What to clear out, Sagittarius. And or any placement, please. Okay, so this one has most likely its roots in childhood, possibly even with another sibling. I feel like many of you had to really like do a lot of things to get noticed by like your parent or parents. You may have had a sibling that sort of did the right thing a lot or seemed smarter or, seemed like they did certain things or is something, highly skilled or something like that. Whereas I feel like you very precocious, very, but very fun and light. But I feel like you grew up to resist that side of you. So in other words, like you may have like, maybe you had a lot of siblings or, something along those lines in the family, or maybe just one, it was something along those lines. Or if it was just you, it's like either way, it's like I feel like you had to sort of really work for attention from your parent or parents. Someone could have been like in another country too. That's very possible. but distant, just distant in general. So if it wasn't like as being like far removed or something like that, I just feel like you had a very distant, possibly father. I'm getting, with the because it is kind of a male figure here. Yeah, so many of you maybe try to like impress or say, well, oh, look what I can do, or like that kind of thing. But possibly, it didn't work very well or something like that. I just get the sense like you ended up resisting like this like fun side of yourself, like that you had a very light-hearted, fun side of yourself. Probably, really like dashing. I mean, the Page of Cups is very dashing and very flirty and fun and curious and loves life and that sort of thing. And I get the sense like you, for some reason, had to play that down some and become more like the responsible kid or something along those lines. So there's that kind of thing can hold like regret or even hidden resentments and things like that. So there's something to that probably for some of you, I'm thinking. Let's see, and obviously with strength here there could be a Leo involved. But yeah, many of you, I feel like you grew into this thing where it's like you may have been like very, very, very chatty as a child. I am getting Gemini energy here, so very highly. So like maybe you have like a Gemini, Mercury or rising or something like that. And again, I just feel like somebody was very more distant and more about the big picture and things like that, where you were just more about like fun and lightheartedness, but something about that had turned you into where you had to like possibly like shut up or keep your mouth shut or something like that, where you had to tame yourself. Also too, there could be a sense where you may be so empathic that you tamed yourself down in order for someone else to shine. Okay, I'm seeing that too. So you may, and which is cool again, but there might be some resentments there now, or there might be, it's showing up here for a reason because it's possibly now an issue. Okay, so yeah, I'm getting that very strongly. Some of you may had, maybe some of you were so empathic, yeah, you toned yourself down in order for someone else to feel more important, and so you didn't fully ever culminate your talent or your this or your that or something along those lines. Okay, let's see. Sagittarius. Let's see. So these are things just to think about, and if they resonate, then use them as guideposts to kind of start working on those things, then getting those things out of there, power washing them away, that sort of thing. Okay. All right, Sagittarius, please. Sagittarius. And or any placement that you use this reading. Yeah, see, I'm getting Gemini, because I think Gemini got that card, the owl card. Okay, goals. All right. Progress is positive and personal goals will be achieved. Okay. Yeah, some of you guys, you just, I think you possibly just kind of got lost, must have got lost somewhere down the line. Lost into something where you just really tamed yourself back, I'm sensing. Now you may be like that inner child, that's the studious inner child that may be coming out and having goals and moving towards things. You have progress is positive and personal goals will be achieved. Okay, so yeah, I feel like there's a sense here of going back to the basics and almost relearning something, but in a more structured way or something along those lines. I feel for many of you, I'm not saying you have to go back to school and go get a 4-year, nothing like that. I'm not getting that at all. It's more of like getting back to like what your goals were, because I feel like you put them aside for someone, or you tamed them down for someone, and you probably felt like you were being strong. Refer to the intro. Remember when I spoke of things where, you know, we feel like sometimes like it's almost like a martyr kind of thing, you know, that we're doing the right thing, but it's like that's not what God wants for us. You know, God wants us to be like successful and perfect and all those good things, right? So yeah, I almost get that sense. So yeah, some of you are kind of going back to the drawing board a little bit, I feel, but just from a different approach. Some of you may not have been told that you were smart too. And you might have been like, if you were like really good looking or cute or something like that, you might have always been told that, but you didn't know that you were smart. And you guys are discovering, you know, at a late time in life that you are smart. Okay. Yeah, you could have played yourself down and played up your looks. And now you're realizing that you're actually very smart, but you also are possibly realizing that you missed out on some things. Some of you may be studying a foreign language also soon. So, okay. Let's see. Sagittarius. Capricorn. Capricorn. Capricorn, what to clear out now? Capricorn, what to clear out now? If you guys are liking these videos, I've got a lot of different ones that are starting to build up on the playlist. You can check out the combo playlist of Psychedelic Friday and Self-Empowerment Sunday. And even the daily topics are somewhat timeless as well. A lot of the ones I've been doing lately, I do about 4 a week, and most of them are timeless unless otherwise stated. Okay, let's see, Capricorn and or any placement. What to clear out? What to clear out, Capricorn? Capricorn, please, what to clear out? Okay, some of you may have really struggled to impress a father or to impress a father figure or to, there could have even been a really extreme reaching out of attention, or there could have even been like something where there was like an accident or, you know, something like that just to like, you know, get this person's attention, something along those lines. Possibly an accident that you feel guilty about, or you feel like you didn't play a role in it, or you didn't have a hand in it, or what have you, which may be true, you know, that's for you to, you know, figure out and all those types of things. But there's something here that could still be holding on about something along those lines. Also, explosive tempers. Something about that also that could have been in I feel more teenage years more than early childhood. I feel this would be more teenage years, maybe having to grow up too soon because of an accident of some sort. Some of you, there could have been something involving a car, automobile accident or something along those lines that forced you to grow up a lot earlier than possible. Or, you know, there could be like, it could just be a simple thing, like maybe you borrowed dad's car, you know, and you promised you'd take care of it or whatever, and got in a fender bender that wasn't that big a deal, but for some reason he made it a great big deal, and somehow you've carried that all your life, and it's become, you know, some kind of big issue for you now that, oh, I'm a failure, or oh, I can't take care of things, or oh, everything goes wrong. Or, you know, there's something, it could be as minor as that, you know, that is in your subconscious. I feel that it's like that's pretty explosive, really, so it does need to be found and dealt with. Others, I feel like you suppressed anger a lot, like you really suppressed a lot of either ambition or anger. Again, I'm getting teenage years, young, you know, like not kid years, you know, like 16, 15, 14, 15, 16 and up. Okay. I also feel it was very difficult to get a male figure's attention. So whether or not this was a father or, someone, in the family. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of unexpressed emotions. So what I would, if that does hit for you, I would, if if the person is still with you or something like that, I mean, maybe there's a conversation that needs to be had. If that doesn't feel comfortable or it just doesn't feel right, then, a good old pen and paper, good, write everything down. Write everything down that's just like exploding within you. You might be surprised, like it might be so suppressed that you didn't realize like you have a lot of like anger or hidden animosity or something going on in that way. Also, too, I feel like for some of you, you may have been like an overexcited child that kind of got drugged down. All right, so that might be for my more younger, people that are watching, like maybe born in the 90s or, something like that, where it's like you may have been suppressed with like ADHD medication or something along those lines, and you may still be holding some, resentment about that because you may feel like it stumped your creativity or something along those lines. So that could be holding you back a little bit also for some of you. Ultimately, I feel like you're really going to be, you have the ability here to move forward, but there is definitely something to put behind you here to let go of so that you can move forward. So something to do with hidden angers, hidden resentments, again, possibly trying everything to get somebody's attention, but it just didn't work, or, something along those lines I feel was very harsh in your teenage years, mainly, is what I'm getting. Okay. Could have been moving around a lot also, and you just being like, no, I want to stay put, or, something like that. You may have had, there could have been like a male was always to blame or something like that for a move, or, even if this wasn't your father, maybe, if you had a single mom, it was her boyfriend, or, something like that I'm getting as well. Okay, let's see. So, what do we have, Capricorn, please, here? What is the message for Capricorn and or any placement that has used this reading? Fire. All right. Yeah, I get, like, you have like you have a lot of electricity in you, but the tower is Mars energy, and it's it can be really unstable when not channeled properly. And that's what I get. Like, you didn't have the opportunity to channel like all of this like energy, like this massive energy that you had, and breakthroughs and things like that. Okay, so let's see. You have fire. Let go of emotional upheaval and embrace the renewal of the present. Yeah, and I do feel like you guys are. Like, I'm getting a sense here like this is old school stuff, right? But and that you are moving forward. But this is just a reminder that there might be some other things here still left. In the little crevices of the mind and all that. Again, look at that. You have key at the bottom of the deck. New beginnings, directions, and adventures await for those ready to let go of the past, is what that card says. And that is very much this card. Because this card's a lot of times somebody who's concentrated on what could have been, what should have been, and all that sort of thing, instead of seeing the newer opportunities that are coming to them. They're closed off to that because they're so focused on what did happen in the past. So yeah, definitely this is a good card for you guys. New beginnings, directions, and adventures await for those ready to let go of the past. Okay. Okay, Capricorn. Let's see. Aquarius. Aquarius. What to clear out? Aquarius. What to clear out? Aquarius. Okay, I saw that Emperor flip by earlier. Okay. Definitely male dominant energy. Father figure, perhaps. Oh yeah, very judgmental. Could have been religious, Catholic, something like that. Very strong. Doesn't have to be Catholic. You know, I shouldn't say that. You know, could be any any religion possibly. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. So many of you have a like a very strong father figure or some sort of male energy figure, okay, that possibly either passed a lot of judgment or instilled in you to like kept drilling that in to make a good judgment call. You know, it's like this can be, oh, you have to work hard to, make it to the top, or it could be the opposite too. Somebody could have been, telling you not to work hard and to find other ways to, get others to take care of you. You know, it works a couple different ways, so whichever one fits for you. But I do feel like this is definitely heavy, oppressive energy here. So very heavy-handed, kind of. Oh, life is tough. Life is a burden. Oh, well, that's the breaks. Oh, well, you got to put your back into it. Oh, like that, just like constant, like kind of stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, that's going to take some work. This is the ones where, we got to do some pretty, like the big power wash, that I talked about in the intro. It's a little beyond a power wash. Like you gotta maybe do that, twice a week rather than once a month or something like that. But definitely can be overcome. And I mean, Aquarius, my God, you guys are resilient as hell. So, but this can be really hard on an Aquarian energy if you are an Aquarius. As I said, this is for, any placement. But if you are an Aquarius in particular, this can be very difficult because, I mean, it's no stereotype, that Aquariuses truly do love their freedom. They love their freedom of thought more than anything, also. And it's like that's... when we say freedom, we think of, being able to go this place or that place or what have you. But no, Aquarius is freedom of thought for you guys. Absolutely. You enjoy being stimulated in those areas where you can think about, sprawling type things. And this is not that. So I feel like this was absolutely, most likely not the best environment for you if this was like a heavy, judgy, parental situation, and that's what really needs to be let go of. It's causing burdens. Okay. Yeah, and keeping you from keeping you from discovering more of the joy of equality and equal give and take in situations. Because the Emperor basically, takes, from the people. Yes, they give their leadership, they give their wisdom and whatnot. But typically, it's a bunch of people paying taxes to the Emperor. So they take a lot. So I feel like that has been, that can cause certain ways of thinking too, and really kind of F with how we view give and take in situations. Because we may not with this may not want to give too much to things, because it's like there could be like that stubbornness in us, with these cards of something like, oh, well, I don't want to give to a situation because I'm just giving it to this, so there could be some deep-seated things in there, definitely to take a look at, I feel. All right, so, and if this is a current situation, all right, because it's not necessarily childhood. It doesn't have to be the father. It doesn't have, this could be a husband. This could be any kind of relationship, anything like that. Then I would say if it's a current situation, what needs to be cleaned out is, I mean, things cannot be controlling. You cannot be under anyone's thumb, and you cannot have people under, it's not really a good idea to keep them under your thumb either. That can work both ways if so, right? It's usually the other way around though. Aquariuses aren't typically super controlling. Judgment, it's time to have a wake-up call of some sort. Something's been going on for too long and there needs to be some sort of, equality in a situation, I feel. All right, let's see. Aquarius. What is the message for Aquarius and or any placement that has chosen this? Okay, thank you. Okay, so you guys have marriage. Ooh, there's a card turned around in here too. Fire. All right, let's see. So you have ooh, you gotta be careful of this one though. So you have marriage. You are attracting emotional fulfillment and unconditional love. Okay, well I did see marriage here. I thought, oh no, it's not. I thought it was 4 of Wands under there. Okay, you got 3 of Wands. Yeah, you guys gotta broaden your horizons, I feel, and allow yourself to be guided more spiritually, because you may have been used to being guided by this more like heavy-handed presence that you didn't really develop how to be guided just spiritually, letting things go with the flow. You may not have had that chance because you have, if it was early childhood, if this was a parental figure, then that could have been instilled, and that's really kind of hard to break. But I feel like you guys, you have like this soulmate energy, but you need to be patient with a situation. Okay, but here's the thing I'm a little concerned about. You also have this card. Your intuition and healing powers will guide you to a better path, but be careful, because you have the snake card. All right. So yeah, if this is a marriage, or if this is a situation too that has gone on way too long, yeah, you may need to end something in order to get to that marriage, I feel. All right, that's what I'm getting here. So really listen to your intuition. Try not to, if any of this like does ring for you, if you kind of grew up in that type of either area or society or people or parents or anything like that with this judgmental sort of strict kind of thing that, oh, we got to be done this way. Oh, got to, again, put your back into it. Do this, do that, that kind of thing. I feel like you guys, just be careful with like, make sure that you are attracting emotional fulfillment and unconditional love, because some of you may be attracting a marriage partner in right now, but you got to be careful, let your intuition lead you so that you are, healing and you are being guided to a better path. All right, because there may be like some obstacles here that are in your way in a situation that could kind of leave you out in the cold, or there's something to be patient about here. And then it's like, especially if there's like a Cancer male here, or Pisces. Yeah, then you have like you have marriage and things like that, on its way. Yeah, but be careful. Just be careful. Okay. Aquarius. Pisces. All right, Pisces. Pisces, what to clear out? Pisces, what to clear out, please? Pisces and or any placement. All right, Pisces. Well, heartbreak may be something that is to be cleared. If you've been holding on to heartbreak for a very long time with that 10 of Wands, maybe, time to really step it up on letting that go. But let's see what we get. All right. What to clear out, please, for Pisces to power wash out of their head. What do they need to clear out right now? What do they need to clear out? Highly suggest watching the intro. These kind of will make more sense. Pisces. And or any placement. Pisces. Okay. Pisces. Okay, some of you are very seducing instead of working together with others, okay? So I feel like, or some of you fall prey to seducers, okay, either or. And not like we don't all, I mean, that's a very general thing to say, I mean, we all do, but I mean, this would be like very prevalent throughout your life, in other words. Yeah, because the King of Cups to me is very seducing. King of Cups a little bit of a drinker, usually to me too. So you could have had like a father who was very, who was a little drinky. or who was very just seducing in general. That doesn't necessarily, I'm not talking about necessarily like sexiness, seduction, possibly, possibly that too, but just seduction in general. Like, King of Cups knows how to talk to someone. They know how to, like, seduce a person, in any situation. So some of you may have that as well. But it's almost like just for the sake of conquest, whether you're a male or female, I'm getting, rather than like working things, like realizing what each person has to give to a scenario. And some of you could add a pretty big age difference with your parents also, I'm getting. Some of you need to clear out some idolization of someone. Okay, someone that you could be like idolizing a little too much. I'm getting that. Others of you are too detached also. So, like, I'm getting that from this. Like, some of you may, and this may have happened, like, you may have just started this. So, depending on your age, all right, depending on what age group you're in right now as you're watching this. So, like, I don't know, I'm always getting, like, around 28, 26, something like that, maybe 30, where it's, like, all this, like, you just decided to be sort of, like, super detached from love offers and things like that, and be more cut off from things like not, it was like a conscious choice, but now it's become like a subconscious choice. So I feel like at the time it was a conscious choice but it's like outlived its stay, if that makes sense. So perhaps maybe like around 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, something like that, around that age. It's like I feel like there, you may have purposely like learned to detach because of a situation or something that you've tried to detach from, and it was a conscious effort to do that, but you've kind of forgotten about it and it's still there. So and you're not realizing now that you really are still very detached, like you're not really emotionally connecting with people. So I do kind of get that sense, because I feel like you really want to. I'm getting that too, like you really want to be a part of things. But there's a part of you that subtly, like, again, forgot that you did this for a reason, and again, it became a habit, and you didn't realize that it's become a habit, and now you're very detached. So I feel like you could be having a lot of fun, you could be working with others really well, but there's this sense of needing to appear very independent. Whether or not you are, I'm not sure, but you're wanting to appear very independent. So yeah, I mean, as far as clearing out things, definitely, like, there's something about like idolization, like someone that you maybe like really idolize. And I'm not saying like you should just like clear them out of your mind or anything like that, but there just might have been too much overemphasis on like idolizing someone. All right, maybe a brother, or like a husband, or a father, or or a mother, that could be too, or a sister, whatever. There's just like there's too much idolization of that person, I feel, and there's something about that that's actually hindering you. I do get the sense, because it's almost like you are sort of like taking on their energy, but it's not the right energy to work with others. And it's like this sort of false independence I'm getting from that energy. All right, so that's one thing. All right, others of you, it just could be a sense of like, I don't see deep things here where like, oh my God, you got all these deep things. I would just say, there is that detachment thing, a little bit too much perhaps. So be open to newer, type, situations and engagements and engaging and things like that. If you're a male, you may have this idea that you need to be super seducing to women, and I don't feel like that is, what is needed. So again, like you might be, then that may have come from over idolizing someone, even a movie star, that you patterned your life after or something like that. There could just be too much of that, I feel. And it's like, no, it's like just you like get on the same page with others, get to know them via dates, and that sort of thing. Okay. All right. Let's see. What is the message for Pisces? And same thing for females. Females, that message could go either way. So females or males on that one, that last message. Okay, let's see. Message for Pisces and or any placement. Okay, Chariot. Nice. Card moving forward. Charge ahead with confidence. Stay strong and focused. Ooh, I like that. All right, so charge ahead with confidence. Stay strong and focused. And you have the Death card at the bottom of the deck, which is a time of natural transition and transformation. You guys may be like going from a lone wolf state to more like working with others or working in tandem with others, or more of a group dynamic where you are clear, that could be what it's saying, like clearing out that like staunch individuality, that lone wolf, this kind of thing, or like again, or thinking that, oh, I'm just going to go charm this group, or something like that. It's like I feel like there's like your own confidence is what to stay strong and focused with, because there's going to be some natural transition and transformations coming up for you, I feel, and in a good way though. I feel it's going to change things. Like it may require you to join in more with others, or get out there and date, or something along those lines. You might be totally needing to choose a whole different type of love type interest to Pisces. Like some of you may need to start looking towards just making friends with people right now, or something like that, and then that will lead to like more dates and that kind of deal. So like turning your back on like that over seducing type or something like that, and just focusing on you and your confidence and charging ahead, and meeting people at work or through work, and then that could lead to more things too. So okay, that's what I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed tonight's reading, and like I said, check out the other readings on the playlist and all those good things. Thank you all, and I will see you guys on Tuesday. All right, take it easy. Schedule's underneath the description box. Thanks, guys.